Salut! Time for a little lesson about how to put all of those vocabulary words from section 2.1 into some complete sentences to express what you do and do not like. So the first thing we need to talk about is how you even ask somebody whether or not they like something. So over here on the left-hand side, you can see the phrases for do you like. Please notice that there are blanks here. Every time you see a blank, it's because you need to fill in the actual item or activity that you're asking about. For purposes of this video, I'm going to talk about liking or disliking la glace, which is one of your vocab words for ice cream. So every time you hear me say one of these sentences, I'll go ahead and sub in la glace, but I need you to know that you can fill in any item or any activity that you need to. Keep in mind that whenever I pause, that's time for you to repeat after me to get a little bit of help and work with your pronunciation. So if you want to ask somebody, do you like? This is not one of those phrases that translates word for word. You literally just say you like and then you fill in the item. Like in English, you'd be saying you like ice cream. And the way you say that in French is by saying tu aimes la glace? Now, if you don't want to just ask a simple yes or no question, if you'd like to ask a more general what do you like question, the second question is for you. Again, the reason why faire is underlined is because you can substitute in other things. If you ask qu'est-ce que tu aimes faire, you're asking what do you like to do, but you could just as easily say qu'est-ce que tu aimes manger, what do you like to eat, qu'est-ce que tu aimes écouter, what do you like to listen to, qu'est-ce que tu aimes étudier, what do you like to study. Lots of different things can go in here. We need to go ahead and try saying this though, and this is one of the more difficult phrases. So that Q phrase right there, we're just going to break this down, is qu'est-ce que, and then if you put it with the you like to do part, it becomes qu'est-ce que tu aimes faire? Now there's lots of ways of responding to these questions based on how you feel about these activities, or in this case, we're going to talk about ice cream. If you love ice cream and somebody says, tu aimes la glace? Do you like ice cream? You might want to say yes. The word yes is oui. And if you'd like to reaffirm that for them, you could say something like, j'adore la glace, which means I love ice cream. If you want to say that you really like ice cream, you would say j'aime bien la glace. And one phrase that I didn't put on here that I think I'd like to go ahead and add on the fly, if you'd like to add this over here next to your responses for likes, definitely recommend it. If you want to just say that you like something, you say j'aime. So you might want to go ahead and add the word j'aime, and then again, note that that just means I like whatever you might be talking about. All right, if you perhaps prefer something different, you want to say that you like something else better, the next two responses are for you. So if somebody says, tu aimes la glace, do you like ice cream? And maybe you want to say that you like French fries better. French fries, remember, are les frites. The way you would say that you like them better is by saying, j'aime mieux les frites. Another way of saying the same thing is to say that you prefer it, so you can say, je préfère les frites. And if by chance somebody asks you tu aimes la glace and you do not like ice cream, first of all, you could just say non. Or you could elaborate by saying je déteste la glace, which means I hate or detest ice cream. Or je n'aime pas la glace, which means I don't like ice cream. Notice that the difference between the I like phrase that we added up here and I don't like is basically just that they've added in those two magical words ne and pas. And we know from previous sections, when you put ne and pas in a sentence, it takes it from the affirmative, j'aime, I like, to the negative, je n'aime pas, I don't like. Now there's an extra little layer to this section, and that is if you're in the course of a conversation talking about what you do and don't like, one of the things that you'll often do is you'll either agree or disagree with somebody else's opinion. You know how it goes. Somebody says something like, oh, do you like ice cream? And you say, I love ice cream. And they say, I know, I love ice cream too. It's so good. And you agree with the person. Or if you say something like, do you like ice cream? And they say, ugh, I hate ice cream. You could say, you kidding me? I love ice cream. I totally disagree with you. So the phrases that you'll see on this page are the phrases for agreeing and disagreeing once somebody has already given you their opinion. So kind of look at how I have this set up. When somebody says that they like something, switching it up a little bit here as far as the topic, for example, j'adore le chocolat. I love chocolate. If you agree with them, the phrase you'll want to use is right here, moi aussi, which means me too. Again, that phrase is moi aussi. If, however, they say that they love chocolate and you disagree with them, the way you would say, well, you might like it, but not me. Not me is very simple. You say pas moi. And it actually translates word for word, which is kind of nice. Now, there's a little bit of a strange situation here. If somebody says that they dislike something, in this case, we'll say, je n'aime pas le chocolat. I don't like chocolate. And you agree, you don't like it either. The way you say me neither is by saying moi non plus. If, however, and this is going to sound very confusing, you disagree with their dislike. So they say, I don't like chocolate, and you're like, chocolate's fire, I love it. Then you're going to say that you actually do like it. And the way you're going to say that is by saying moi si. Literally, it's a different way of saying me, yes, as in I actually do like it. It's very strange that it's actually the word for yes in Spanish as well. But, roll with the punches here. Moi si is how you say, well, you might not like it, but I actually do. The last thing I want to throw in is when you're going back and forth talking about your likes and dislikes, one of the easiest ways to keep a conversation going is by using the phrase et toi. We've had this phrase before. It's a really great phrase. It literally just means and you. As in if you tell somebody, oh, j'adore le chocolat. Et toi? I love chocolate. What about you? You're inviting them to give their opinion as well. All right, make sure you get everything written down and bring these back to class with you so we can practice this in class.